before the wind comes up.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 9 a.m. It's Thursday, December 27th. A little unusual. We needed to wrap up some year-end business, so Christmas, of course, this year was on our normal meeting day, so as well as New Year's will be on our meeting day, so we did move our commission meeting for this week to Thursday. A little snowy outside, but we'll get her in and get out of here as soon as we can. We'll open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Troy, I think it's
Thank you.
your turn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Troy. Housekeeping, if you have a cell phone, please silence it or turn it off. If you have a call that comes in and you need to take it, please step out in the rotunda area so you don't disrupt the meeting. The meeting is being streamed live. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board with an item that is not on the agenda? Seeing none, is there any board member that has a conflict of interest with any items that are on the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right, we have a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
As printed. A motion by Hanton, seconded by Van Duzen. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Motion to approve
Move
the
to
December
approve as
18th meeting.
emailed.
Motion by Hanton, second by
I'll second.
Liebel. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Go right into the monthly reports. Jim is here, Emergency Management. Good morning, Jim. Morning. Middle of the day for a couple of us, right?
Just turn your mic on there, Jim. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, there's a few of us have been up since early this morning. The state now, when we have a blizzard like this, they want a status report. And so at 4:45 this morning, I was up typing up a status report for them because it had to be in by 5:30. So
What does that report include, Jim? Just it's snowing?
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause do you go out and drive?
How's that going? If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Yeah. They ask questions on the status report, how many businesses are closed, if there's government buildings that are closed,
Okay.
you know, information like that. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, all the businesses are closed except for Walmart. So it's pretty
If they
easy to
shut
answer
down,
that one.
Yeah, if they shut down, we're in trouble.
Right.
Is that really what you put on the form?
That's
They're
what's
all
on the
closed?
form. That's the kind of questions that you have to answer. Anyway, the generator. The generator down here at the Law Enforcement Center has been working really good. Since I was up here last, we did have maintenance performed on it, and we did load test it like I talked about before. And we ran it at full. It's a 125 kilowatt generator, and we ran it at 125 kilowatts there for 2 to 3 hours, and it worked flawlessly. It was, knock on wood.
Good.
Hope it stays that way. On December 3rd, we did install the new radios that are used for the offices at the jail and the backup 911 center. So all the digital radios in that block back there have been replaced with radios that we obtained through the Homeland Security Grant Program. I sponsored hazmat training here for first responders, and we did have that hazmat training on December 12th and December 19th. We had it in 2 evenings, so the rural fire departments and volunteers, it'd be easier for them to come in for the training. And we did have a good turnout for that training. We had 19 individuals that were present for the first night, and 2 of them couldn't make it the second night, but we still had 17 people there for that second night of training. On January 9th, I'll be attending the Watertown Fire Department Advisory Committee meeting. And on January 10th, I continue working with the Sheriff's Office, with Prairie Lakes Hospital and Watertown Fire Department on that Stop the Bleed program. And our next meeting that we have scheduled is on January 10th. Last Friday, the search and rescue team, we were called down to Kingsbury County to assist with the recovery of a drowning victim on Lake Whitewood by Lake Preston. And we used the hovercraft that we have for that recovery, and it worked very good for that, because with the way I understand is that the operator was they were on a four-wheeler with tracks on it. There was two of them, and it was foggy, and they drove into an area that was thin ice and the open water in that area. And one of the people, the one operator was able to get out of the water, the other one was not. And so we took the hovercraft down there, and that, you know, we can go from the shore onto the ice, out into the open water, back up on the ice, and it worked well. And we're learning more about the operation of it as we go along. But it was the safest way that we could on a recovery like that. Otherwise, we would have probably had to, you know, go out with a cold water submersion suit on, walk out there. You're going to fall through that ice because it was open water in that area, and try to recover, you know, with a person in the water. So this is a lot safer way of doing the recovery mission like that. You guys did an excellent job on that.
I noticed they were the first one out of the shed too.
Right, yeah. So, and let me see here. Oh, and I just wanted to let you know too that in the month of January now coming up, we will be publishing our Title VI policy in the newspaper. The Title VI program deals with the discrimination on government contracts. And we had to develop a policy, you know, that we published, and the policy and the procedures. So if somebody feels that they have been discriminated against on a contract with the county, we have a procedure in place to where we'll accept that complaint and deal with the complaint when it comes in. So that will be published in January. Just a little tidbit on the information. The latest information I've got is, you know, starting about now, we're up to about 20 miles per hour out at the airport as far as the wind, and it's slowly going to increase as the day goes on. The latest graphics that we got, this came out at 4 o'clock this morning, but we're in an area to where we could get an additional 8 to 10 inches of snow here in this area, but you can take a look at that and pass it around. But that's came out at 4 o'clock this morning. That would be some of the latest information that we have. We're going to be monitoring that wind. The wind's supposed to keep going up until 7, 8 o'clock tonight. We should be in the mid-40s for wind gusts, and that we're going to have some blizzard conditions if we have 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts with all this fresh new snow. So Sheriff Brad Howell and I will be monitoring conditions, and we'll keep you updated.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jim.
Any questions?
Jim, how many, just real quick on that response down to Kingsbury County, how many volunteers did you have that went down there, do you know?
We must have had 12 or 14 that
Was
were
this
able
during
to
the
respond.
day?
Yes, it was. Yep.
You know, it kind of goes without saying, we had an appreciation dinner that your office and the sheriff's office hosts every year, just recognizing the volunteers that are a part of that, and the reserves and that sort of thing. Those men and women that belong to that team are phenomenal, and please pass the word on behalf of the commission here how appreciative we are of their work as we go into the new year, because if they didn't respond, somebody would have to. And,
right.
You guys have the tools, and we're very grateful for the job that you and they do on the search and rescue team, so thank you.
Thank you for those words, and I will pass that along to the search and
We're
rescue
so
team.
fortunate to have their trained, well-trained professionals that are volunteers.
That's what I was going to say, and they're all
Yeah.
volunteers,
Yeah.
so.
These are men and women that are taking time off from work,
Yeah.
and their families to go out and do this, and I'm sure the family is very appreciative too, that they
Yeah.
responded. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. All right,
Thanks, Jim.
Sheriff, Brad.
Happy New Year.
Good morning again, Brad.
Sheriff, good morning.
How's it going today?
Morning, Brad.
This one up here out of the way here. All right.
It's like a busy month.
Yeah, it's been a busy morning already. Must be year two that way.
Oh, you got
I
two.
got an extra
Okay.
one there.
I didn't get one.
Maybe Lee.
Oh, sorry.
See, I
Wait,
thought I had
I
just
gave
one
one
up
to
there.
Charlie. No, then I didn't have one after I gave one to Charlie.
Got it. I could have given you mine.
Then you wouldn't have one.
Like you've been in a war.
This is okay. We'll talk about that later.
All right.
I didn't notice it till now, I just looked and like,
Well, we'll get started with the monthly balance sheet there on the front page. If you look for the month of November, the bank balance end of November 2018 was $7,650.20. And if you go look down, we got copy fees collected, $28. Sheriff's fees collected, $6,657.70. And $375 in warrant fees, for a grand total of $7,060.70. If you jump over to the next page there, these got it pulled up on the big screen already. If you look on the top there, on the sheriff's activity, in November, we responded to 554 cases and calls, 23 accidents, 77 warrants were served, 240 civil papers were served, and 3,752 transport miles. They were down just a little bit the previous months, you can see. If you jump down to the jail activity, for November, our ADP, our average daily population, was 65.1. Lee's been working on new computer program data here, and we're trying to work out all the bugs there, and his numbers are just a little bit different than ours.
But the bottom line is it's ADP's down some.
Yep. And that's something we'll see next month when I do my end of the year stats here. I figured it out not too long ago. It was a few weeks ago. I don't think November was included in that number at that time, but we're looking to be on track to about 10 less ADP from last year. Last year we were at 78.8 or 9, so about 79 inmates. Looking to be about 10 less. So hopefully that holds true, and we'll be able to see that next month on our end of the year reports. And 2015 would be the last time that we've seen those numbers, about 10 less. So hopefully that holds true. November, our high ADP was 74. Our low ADP was 55. On the 24/7 program, we had 23 people on the Scram bracelet. 2 people, or twice daily PBTs, we had 64 people. 51 people on the twice weekly UAs, and 5 people on the sweat patch. And we had 228 bookings for the month of November. So for the 24/7 program, we had 143 people on that program for the month of November, and an average of about 65 people in jail. If you scroll down just a little bit more, the out-of-county contracts for November, we collected $7,609.62. Work release fees, $4,260, and 24/7 fees, $6,094, and collected $4,557 in Scram fees. So, and if you jump over, it's got a couple things I wanted to touch base on a little bit here. With our rising numbers of the 24/7 UAs that we got going, did a little homework, and I'm doing a little checking, looking to maybe do a little remodel in the jail, add a small bathroom off the 24/7 office there, split that office into 2, put a door in there, and put a toilet and a sink in there for the people that are coming in for the twice weekly UAs. You can see, if you scroll up there a little bit, Lee, you can see we've been up to 74, 50 to 74 people coming in twice weekly UAs. That's a lot of people that are coming in and out of the jail there. This will help streamline that a little bit. They'll have a facility, a bathroom just for those. People can come in and then they can watch, do their thing. And move
So
on.
right now, you have to take them all the way back to,
Right now, we have the tank and we have confinement.
Okay.
Oftentimes, both of those, with our numbers the way they've been, oftentimes those facilities are both full with inmates, so we can't go there. We have to bring them through the jail into and use the employee bathroom in the unsecure area part of the jail.
So something to realize, so people understand, the jail was built before the 24/7 program, which is a great alternative. I mean, if it weren't for that, our jail population would be even worse.
Yep.
So that's why it's like that. That's why it was just never designed for this, but this is such a good program that, I can see where you're going. So.
And these folks aren't scheduled, they just come in at any point in time, twice a week?
There's certain days that the males and females come in, that way for staffing purposes. We try to make sure that we have a male on or a female on to watch this. So there is some scheduled a little bit to that, just so it breaks up the time that they're
Right.
doing these as well. So,
Well, I would think so, because otherwise you can have them drop in at any
yeah.
time.
When we start having this many inmates, or not inmates, this many people on the 24/7 program that are coming and going through the jail, that's a big security concern for the jail when you start having those numbers coming through. And, so this will be nice to be able to have this right off the lobby area there.
yeah.
A little inconvenient for the 24/7 coordinator, but in the long run it'll be better. So
Do you need to get a estimate on the cost of doing
I've
this? And-
talked with a couple plumbers, and our maintenance staff is going to put the door in and do a little bit of remodeling. It's looking like it's going to be under a couple $1,000s, so it's something that we're
Is there
working
plumbing and stuff right there, Brad?
down below, yeah, right down in the basement.
Okay.
They'll do some plumbing. The hardest part is I got to do a core hole through the cement floor to get the toilet put in, but they make it sound like that's not going to be an issue as well. So.
So if we're doing it ourselves, we don't have to do that tax, right?
Well, it's
Our
under
maintenance are doing it?
$50,000 or whatever. That's
Yeah.
the
What tax? Well, like, the tax
Excise
that
tax.
Minnehaha County's having trouble with. If you hire somebody, then you gotta pay it. If you do it yourself, you don't.
There will be a plumber that's going to be hired to do the install.
Yeah, we
of
may
the-
have to pay a little bit of excise tax, but
Like
it's
say,
it's not a huge project, so
Yeah,
yeah.
so we won't have to put it out for bids because it's under 50,000.
Yeah.
And like say, just the preliminary quotes that I'm getting are less than 2,000.
Yeah.
And we are required to pay excise tax.
Yeah.
That,
That's easy plumb.
but yeah, there's that other one. I don't know what it is that there's.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh,
That's going to cut that
they're
office in
big
half.
contractors.
It'll cut that
tax
office
or
space down a little bit.
Yeah.
We got to work with cabinet
Yeah.
space and
Yeah,
all
we
that
aren't gonna
stuff.
need to
But
worry about that.
in the long run, it's definitely going to help with the security of the jail and help move them numbers through a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because I only foresee these numbers going higher in the future.
Yeah.
So,
Which is a good thing, so.
yeah.
Get her done.
Project Pajamas, that was a success. We were looking for a goal of about 500 pajamas. We ended up with over 800. Last I checked, it was around 850 pairs of pajamas. There were some donations that were cash donations as well. We're still kind of sorting through all them in our spare time when it's not snowing and we're not out on the roads here, trying to get them all packaged and get them all set. With the cash donations that were brought in, we plan on filling the gap. And it looks like there should be enough there to also buy socks and underwear for these packages as well. So
Thank you and congratulations. Job well done.
real great to the community to be able to fill that need. So that's all I have right
Okay,
now.
any
There's
questions for Brad? Let's go on then to number 6. Pertains to Brad as well. Authorization, request for quotes for law enforcement patrol vehicles.
Plan on sending out some quotes just to get some bids on some vehicles. I'd like to send them out locally here. We had 2 vehicles budgeted for 2019, a transport vehicle and a patrol vehicle.
I'll entertain a motion to do that.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Van Duzen, second by Waterman.
Brad.
Any discussion?
That's not it.
That's not it. No.
On a day like today, it's pretty easy to ask the commission that they be at least 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive for sure, right?
Yep,
On a day
needs
like
a
today.
Better heater.
The plan is like a transport vehicle, maybe be a van or something to fill that
Sure.
need, and then a full-size SUV, 4-wheel drive is what we're planning, so.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Go ahead and get her done then. All right, let's go on. Thank you, Brad.
I think I got
Oh, yeah,
one
one more, yeah. Let's go on to number 7 then. Action to approve inmate services contract with Brown Clinic. We've had a contract with them for many years.
Yeah, 3, 4, just off the top of my head, it might be a little bit longer. We're working with them right now to try to get that finalized. I haven't got the finalized contract back from Jim Bockel yet from Brown Clinic. We're looking to maybe just change a little language in there to make sure that the county and/or Brown Clinic can get out within that year if need be. That kind of builds off kind of some of the stuff that Lee and I and Chief Correctional Officer have been looking at, different services that are out there, just to kind of see what's available for the county for mental health. There's a lot of different options that are out there that we're continuing to look at. But for the Brown Clinic contract, I have not got that back yet, so we can't approve it today.
You want, yeah.
So when I get it, I guess we'll put it back on the agenda again. And
Yes, yeah, that's what I was
Get it
gonna say.
approved, so.
We probably would like to see the contract
Yeah.
before we approve it, so.
And you'll have
Is
Becky.
it a week? We won't
I
meet
hope,
next week.
yeah, it's in
make-
their hands right now, so.
We won't meet next week, so it'll be 2 weeks.
The
from
Oh,
now.
eighth.
yeah, I'll just make a motion to postpone it until when it's ready.
We don't even need a
don't.
motion.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
just,
Mine.
I'll just
No
note in the minutes, contract is being prepared, and we'll
Yep.
take action at a future date.
That's good.
All right, anything else for Brad? Thank you, keep us posted on the road deal.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to number 8, action to authorize part-time employee for maintenance department. I see Milo's here. You want to kind of fill us in? How you doing, Milo? Good to see you up and around.
Milo?
Jim and Brad, you're gonna, Jim? He's gone. You're gonna give us a holler before we get done here, 9:30, 10 o'clock, or something like that? See what's going on, or we can call you. All right, thank you. All right. Thank you. All right.
Morning, Milo.
Sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I had Cindy put this on the agenda for just in case, rather than have to wait another week or 2 weeks, to take this kind of action. We do have a shortage of manpower in the maintenance department right now due to sickness. Today, well, it'd be nice to have the extra help, but today we don't need it, but it could come up if this employee is unable to come back to work in a reasonably short period of time. I'd like permission to hire temporary help.
I'll
All
make
right.
that motion.
We have a motion by Hatton,
Second.
second by Van Duzen. Any discussion?
How many hours would we be talking about?
We'd go with 40.
40?
Yeah,
It's just temporary 40 till the other individual is able to come back on
Correct.
full-time.
So that would be
with-
temporary help, would be no benefits.
Right.
Okay.
It's a temporary position, so yeah, no benefits.
Just a wage.
So does the motion need to say that it's a temporary?
I did say
temporary-
that.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
so you
in
said-
there, yep.
do you have somebody in mind, Milo? Yeah, actually, a couple different people.
Okay, any more discussion? We have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, Milo, you want to buy us a golf cart, huh?
Well, look at the weather today, it just
Oh.
seems like a good day to buy a golf cart.
It is. It'd be a good day to buy a golf cart. In fact, I may go home and get mine out.
Yeah. This is something for use at Memorial Park during the summer. It is a budgeted item.
I
By
make a
buying it
motion.
this time of year, we're saving them a few bucks.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to.
Motion by Hatton, second by Gable. Discussion. I communicated with Milo about this, and I noted to him that we have 2 of them at our place. I bought one for my wife, and I asked her why she wasn't using it, because she said, because you always have it. So I bought another one. And they're so handy and so easy to get on and off, and if you need to transport people, it's slick as a whistle. And I tell you what, ours are electric, so you can sneak up on gophers and shoot them, and then I tell you what, it's nice.
Speaking of transport, if you could partner with the sheriff's office, we could use that as a transport vehicle too.
Sure.
We could
Yeah, it
take
works.
care of both.
Yeah.
Can we get a cage on the one side? Or?
Yeah, you could handcuff them to one of the deals and that's
For the record, I am joking about that.
Yeah.
Ball hitch in a cage.
Yeah.
The only thing some of them, and did you ever talk about putting I don't know if you need it, you know, the apparatus that fits on the back for a chair or,
Yeah, that is available.
okay, yeah. But you just want the golf cart for right now.
Yep.
That's within the budget. Okay, and it is a budgeted item.
What are we looking at for money?
It says it
It
on there.
was,
3577.
It's in your documentation.
it's a good looking golf cart.
And that's to make things easier out of Memorial Park, obviously. I think we talked
Yeah.
about that.
A
But
lot of distance to cover.
Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. There you go, Milo.
Thank you.
Thanks, Milo.
Thanks, Milo.
Appreciate it.
Take care
That's
now.
all I had. Are they gonna store that till
Yep.
spring for us?
You're good.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking card.
All right, let's go to number 10, and this is, we need to, action to approve the 2019 payroll resolution, and you got a copy of that last meeting. Cindy, you take it from here.
Payroll resolution reflects the changes that you approved, the wage increase that you previously approved, and the additional two steps, steps 13 and 14 to all positions. So that is what it reflects, is the wage increase that you approved.
Make a motion to approve that
Motion by
payroll
Hatton.
resolution.
Second by, I had three of them here about the same time, and you all both point to Gable.
Gable.
Second by Gable. Any more discussion? Any discussion at all? Any discussion?
This reflects what did we say, a 2%?
2%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2% pay raise, so that's,
And then the two additional steps at increases of 1.25,
Any more discussion?
I think it was. Whatever you approved is what I did.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 11 is action to declare general fund assigned and on designated cash for future building projects. And you've got those numbers for us, Cindy?
Yep, and these are based on estimates through the end of the year, but, my best guess as to how much revenue is going to come in. Our revenues came in higher than estimated this year, and our expenditures, we left $1.4 million in the general fund budget this year. Part of that was the remodel project that didn't get finished up. We left $160,000, I think, left in commissioner's contingency that we did not need. There were a couple of other budgets that did not spend as much as they anticipated they would need. The sheriff's budget left some money in there. Welfare, which is a good thing, means we did not have to assist as many people. And welfare and the detention center both left some money in their budgets this year. So the state allows us to have a 40% surplus of the general fund budget for the following year.
that's unprogrammed.
Right. Unassigned cash, which in this instance is $4,355,213.60 is what we're allowed to keep as a surplus.
And will you say that one more time for me? Yep.
$4,355,213.60. That is 40% of our general fund budget for 2019. So based on what we left in the budget this year and the revenues coming in higher than anticipated, we can change our assigned for future building projects to $6,594,533.98.
All right.
Then make a motion to,
We have a motion by Gable.
Second.
Second by Van Duzen. Any discussion?
So that we do have the 4,355,000 in as surplus then.
That will be our surplus,
Surplus
unassigned
amount.
surplus cash, which the
So
state
that's-
allows us to have. Yep.
and so some of the advantage of this, of course, is when it comes time to build justice facilities. I mean, that's,
Remodeling,
Or remodeling,
it's for any building project that may come up.
The $6 million figure, what
yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah. So they
That's the
advantage of
building.
that. So
Yeah.
whether it's,
Yes.
whether it's this, the remodel we're doing now, or the, you know, say a jail bond someday again, then,
Yeah.
you know, that reduces
It's
that bonding.
it's
cost.
savings, it's
Yeah.
saving towards what we need to take
Well,
care
and
of.
we've replenished that back then for some of that we've taken out for the remodel project.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true
So
too.
actually, we're
Back up about.
we're back
there.
up.
Is
We're
that the
ahead
cap
of-
that we can have, is that 6 million?
No,
That
there
is
is no
what's in
cap. That's the amount that we need to designate for future buildings to make sure we stay at that other 4
Or the other
point,
cap. So,
yeah, at that 40%.
the one thing on the remodel project is.
Ooh, let's get a motion on this.
We have a
already
motion
do.
and
We
a
have a
second.
motion and a
And a
second.
second,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
So
Just
we're
to-
just- we're still
and-
doing discussion.
Just
Any
to add
discussion?
just to comment on, so when we pay the bills today, then there would be a little over 300,000-ish of the remodel project.
Left of
that
the
has not
remodel
been- Just has
project,
not
yeah.
been billed yet.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
we have
pretty,
not billed.
I mean, we kind of,
We were
pretty
fortunate
close,
to
so.
get
A good-
a new bill, a over $300,000 bill that we are able to pay today on that project so that we aren't carrying as much over.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. So some we will carry over to complete the
Yeah,
project.
and we plan for that, maybe
Yep.
not quite that much.
We
but-
knew it was not going to be finished by the end of the year, so.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We have more discussion. Anything else? Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. There you go, Cindy.
That was a big item. I mean, that's the reason why we had to meet
Yep,
before the end of the year.
we got her
because
done. Let's
These
go to number-
things need to be done before the new year
And
starts.
the last final bills also.
Yes,
need to be
yes.
Let's go to number 12, action to approve a resolution to cancel liens of persons deceased with no assets. And that amount, there's a,
22,111.86.
it's in your packet here.
And it's much less than our prior resolutions, which were, I think, over 300,000 the last time. So we are
Getting that.
getting that down there.
I'll make
Yeah.
a motion to approve
Yep.
that.
We have a motion to approve the $22,111.86
I'll second.
write-off, and a second by Gable. Any discussion?
And for the benefit of the press, what we're doing, we are discharging county aid liens for people who have come in to the county for assistance with whatever medical, burials, housing, anything like that. And we have determined that these people are now deceased. They have no assets. There is no reason to carry these on our books.
And that is from July 1, 1970.
The last time, we've been doing this about every 6 months. We did a resolution back in March, I think, was the last time we did a resolution. And at that time, it was over 300,000.
Wasn't that like about we just started kind of doing that it was a big
This is the
one?
second time. This is the second time we've done, or this is the third time, I should say. And we are getting down there and, we try to keep track just
people pass.
of people. Our collection agency will notify us if a person is deceased, and then they return it to us, and then at that point, we do an investigation to make sure they don't have any property, that their name's not any chain of title for anything.
You kind of do a title search.
Yes,
basically.
we do, to make sure that they have no assets before we take them off, so.
All right, we have a motion and a second, and a lot of good discussion. Is there any more discussion? Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Number 13, update, approval of any change orders for courthouse remodel project. Lee?
Yeah, there are no change orders, Mr. Chairman, but I provided a copy from the progress meeting of the agenda and the report from BKB, which kind of says roughly the same thing, but has a bunch of photos in there to give you the status update. The key points to highlight, if you'll allow, would be the timeline. This on the agenda piece, there's paragraph 3 there. It just talks about the various things that are going to be happening in the next month. So about mid-January, the courtroom will pretty much be done. So the walkthrough for the courtroom will probably take place in late January, which leaves the last thing to do would be that security checkpoint which late January, early February timeframe for that, just to give folks an idea. You can see right now that the courts, if you go down there now, you can see the tops of the rails and all the pieces of the courtroom furnishing that was put in yesterday. So, and the woodwork touch-up, that's almost done. So I think it's looking pretty good. The wood panels are going up. So
All right. And it's also good to know that it was 31 degrees and foggy that day. So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's part of their format, I guess. Yeah.
I guess we got a weather report along with it.
Yeah.
We don't need to take any action
No,
on
it's
any
just
of this. Is there any questions for Lee at this time? Anybody have any
It
questions?
looks like they've started to put down some carpet tile, Lee.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
carpet tile's almost, that's pretty much down.
I think it's all
There's a couple
done.
spots that need it, like the back hallway going to the jury chamber, that still needs to be carpeted, but
That's good.
yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go on then to number 14 on the agenda, action to transfer commissioners' contingency to budget per South Dakota Civil Law 7-21-6.1. Cindy, what do we have?
I'm just looking at that report right now. I meant to do this yesterday and I ran out of time. I just want to double check to make sure we do not have any negatives in our categories for budget. If you'll just give me a minute here. A couple of them, we did spend the whole 24/7 budget this year for the first time. We made sure that we did not go over on that, because what I do is, at the end of each month, the chief correctional officer brings me a report of the hours that the 24/7 coordinator spent working on 24/7 matters. So then I do a budget transfer at the end of each month. I do a credit to the jail budget and a debit to the 24/7 budget based on the number of hours that the 24/7 employee
That's
has
all right.
spent.
It shows that it's being used. And
Yes, it is. It is.
And it
So
is. The numbers
we
are
did
there.
spend $78,916, which was the total budget for the 24/7 this year.
Do we increase that then, next year's budget?
I could not tell you right offhand.
Okay.
Well, hang on, yes, I can too. Let me see.
Is that primarily for wages
Yes.
and supplies?
Wages and some supplies, yep, whatever they need. So we budgeted for 2019. $88,666.
Bumped to 10 grand, so we should be all right
We
there.
did bump it up, yep, based on the revenues that we are taking in, so yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
entertain a motion
So
to do
there
that.
are no,
No, there are not.
There are
You don't
none.
need to do anything.
Nothing for
That's right.
contingency, yep.
Yeah, because then we had 160,000 left in commissioner's contingency, right?
Yes.
Now we've got an
yes.
action to approve claims for payment, and we do have a few of those.
Yep, the first
They're in your
one,
packet.
first one is to Empire Pizza for $60.35. That was for jury supper. Thomas Price Incorporated, $1,200 for an evaluation through the Public Defender's Office. Our Visa bills that we always pay at the end of the month, the Sheriff's Office, $164.15 for travel. Search and Rescue, $927.87 for miscellaneous charges, travel, supplies, etc. Mills Construction, the first one we have is payment application number 7, $90,436.90. That is for the courthouse remodel. We also have a bill for Peters Distributing, $2,552.15. That was for part of the remodel for the judicial system for cameras in the clerk of court's office. Prairie and Sons, $2,619.76. That's also part of the courthouse remodel project. That is is it the sprinklers?
Sprinkler system. yeah.
Okay.
That's almost, there's still a little bit to go on that project,
The
but
Department of Revenue was undergoing a changing in their billing for the blood alcohol fees that we have to pay, so we finally got a bill in for, some of these go back to August. So we decided we should get that bill paid. It's $11,940 to the South Dakota Department of Revenue for the state public health lab for blood alcohol testing. The 911 surcharge goes to the city of Watertown, $26,071.60, and that was for October collections. Mills Construction sent application number 8 yesterday for $337,820.14. It's part of the courthouse remodel. And then we also had one small bill for Peters Distributing for $52.09. That was for the camera project in the clerk of court's office. We are subject to excise tax. The original bill came with sales tax on it. We sent it back, asked them to take it off, and then they sent it to us again with excise tax on it after we had already cut the check, so we had to cut an extra check for $52.09 for the excise tax.
Was it the same amount?
It was the same amount. Yep.
They just channeled it a different way.
They just
Yes.
different percentage.
Yes, the base bill was the same. Originally, they charged us 6.5% sales tax, which was their error. We sent it back, we cut the check, and then they decided that there were excise tax that we were subject to, so.
Make a motion to approve those claims for payment.
Motion by Hatton,
I'll second.
second by Gable. Any discussion?
So that leaves a little bit over, like we said before, a little bit over 300,000.
Yeah,
I
let
don't
me
have it
look
off the
quick.
top of my head, but on the remodel project.
Yeah,
You have
left
the
to
overall amount.
pay $306,802.71.
Yeah, and then there's a few, the sprinkler project is separate, but it goes with the remodel. That's
Yeah.
a few,
Not sure
that's
if they
not
prepare their
that
billing the
much.
same way or not.
It's not that much. I want to say it's about $2,000.
So that 306, is that more so for the security part of it?
Balance to date,
it's
balance to
basically-
date for the sprinkler project is minimal.
Yeah, it's
about
very-
$500.
Yeah, so not much left on that
Yeah.
one. So, no, as far as what's remaining, it's pretty much what's in the report on the remodel.
Okay.
Commissioner Hammond, so it's pretty much what's in here. So they don't bill for what hasn't happened yet, so.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion approved. Number 17, action to approve personnel changes. We have about 3 or 4 of those. They're in your packet.
First one is Sheriff Brad Howell. He will go from step 9 to step 12. It'll be $36.29 per hour. That does include the 10-cent education incentive. Highway Maintenance 3, Jeff Case, will go to step 13. This is his anniversary step increase, $24.67 per hour. Matt Dargitz will go to Maintenance 2 at the Highway Department, step 8, $22.32 an hour. Rick Holinka is being promoted from Maintenance 2 to Maintenance 3, Step 13, $24.77 an hour at the Highway Department. And Todd Warney is a mechanic at the Highway. He will go to Step 13, $24.77 per hour for his anniversary step increase. These numbers are all based on the payroll resolution you approved
I'll
previously in
make
this
a motion
meeting.
to
We
approve
have a
those.
motion by Van Duzen, a second by Waterman. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Do we have any mature business, any old business that we need to take
Travel.
care of? This is the last meeting of the year, so we got to wrap her up here.
No travel requests?
No, none today.
We didn't have any automatic budget supplements?
No.
Okay.
Just a couple quick things on the JDAI meeting that we had last
Yep.
Tuesday. We got an update about the Boys and Girls Club, and I guess the interesting thing there is because that underage drinking has gone to a citation offense. It doesn't the overall numbers for that was a common offense in teen court, and so that's taken the numbers down a little bit. But there's still some more discussion to have about teen court, and so actually it's trying to get on the state's attorney's calendar right now. She's been pretty busy, but she's a key player in that.
Commissioner Gable and I have been contacted by the Boys and Girls Club to meet with them along with our state's attorney to discuss some funding issues that they have coming up. So we'll be doing that in the near future.
Yeah, hopefully in January we'll get to talk about that.
Some funding issues.
Yeah, for teen court, they're So they're looking out ahead and looking at the funding source. So I just so you're aware, they're probably going to talk to the county and the city about, I would imagine, about how people can help. And then the other thing if you allow me, Mr. Chairman, on the legislation that we talked about, we're authorizing counties to ask their voters for a half-penny sales tax to build justice facilities if the time comes. That resolution is being drafted as a bill by LRC. So once I get a copy of the draft bill, I'll let you guys know. So
Didn't we already, oh, sorry.
I just wanted to tell Lee, good job on that.
On the teen court thing, didn't we supplement some of that? We gave them some
we
funding.
give money to the Boys and Girls Club, and that they use some of that for that. So that's it's a great thing that they do.
Yeah.
So, but they do have other funding sources for that, and some of it's grant funded, and it's been basically it has to do with, I think, as I understand it, because underage drinking became a citation offense. The grant that they get, isn't it from like a transportation grant or a highway department grant?
Yeah.
So that's that was the reason for the highway grant was that underage drinking was an offense, but now it's a citation offense.
And I think it's a little premature to discuss what we're actually going to be asked to do. They've just requested a meeting, so we know that funding on that grant has been cut. So
We're not the only county that at the
Right.
meeting at my state meeting that was also mentioned too. I believe other ones with teen courts.
Yeah, and sometimes they handle different places handle it differently. We're fortunate to have a Boys and Girls Club that coordinates that and runs that program. So.
But it's,
Well, we're kind of sliding into the new business here, so is there any other new business? Is there any other old business that we need to talk about, and then is there a new business? How about for the open? By the way, January 8th is our next meeting date. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that's the opening day of the 2019 legislature as well.
yeah, and the courthouse will be closed once again next Monday and Tuesday. I don't have anything else, I guess, that we could have a quorum of commissioners at,
I don't think so.
unless somebody else has anything.
I have nothing. Anything?
we have New Year's Eve out at Minerva's. I don't know if anybody's planning on going out there, but I'll be out there.
That's a good
I don't know,
place
is
to-
anyone going to the inauguration?
A good place to stay away from.
Possibly, maybe that.
To the inauguration? I haven't got my invitation yet. There's probably a reason for that. Anyway, anything else for the open? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that
I have
motion.
no requests for exec session from anyone, so.
Nope.
I
We
made
have
the
a
motion
motion
to
by
adjourn.
Hatton to adjourn, a second by Gable. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. Now, Sheriff Brad was going to get back to us, or should we give him a call? He was going to give us some direction, whether we should keep the courthouse open this afternoon or send these employees home.
Well, should we keep streaming for the drama, or? Hold the clock.